Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back here with Success with Fazia and Education with Fazia. So today on this video we're going to be doing English part 2 of Oliver Twist. Like I said, this is a very incredible book. I love this book so much. I recommend it for you guys if you want to go read it or do anything. It's written by the author Charles Dickens. It is really amazing. I personally love the book and I'll give it a 5 out of rating. So if you're going starting to make sure you have a notebook, it's really helpful. Like I said, a notebook is always very helpful in my lessons, and it will really help you have experienced it. So here we are into first lesson. So today's lesson is very simple. We're just going to be learning the new part where he runs away. So I just wrote a quick summary. Before the summary, I have a do now. So if you don't know, if you're new to this channel, make sure you go see part 1 because this is related to it. You will not understand, or you might do a little bit of this do now, but you won't really understand. So just go check the first video. So here's a do now. Do now is basically a task I put before going to the lesson just to get your mind working. So here are questions. Do now. Who is Oliver Twist? Where did he stay after his mother's death? And what is the workhouse challenge? So when you finish the do now, you do the challenge. Where do you think Oliver Twist runs to? So you have just about, say, 2 minutes. We should get on with this real quick now because by now we should know it. And where do you think Oliver Twist runs to? This is the challenge extension. Normally in the challenge we do like a big paragraph, write what you think, and just give you 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes off you go. Alright, you should have paused the video. Now we're going to go and answering these. So who is Oliver Twist? Oliver Twist is a young orphan boy who was born in the workhouse for the mother of known to no one. Where did he stay after his mother's death? He stayed at the workhouse with Mr. Bumble and Mrs. Bumble. What is the workhouse? The workhouse is a place where they keep children who are in need for money, people who need money. We have like poor parents and orphans. If you don't know what an orphan is like when your parents are away or they're dead. Challenge. So where do you think Oliver Twist runs to? Not saying the answer. We're gonna find out. This is no wrong or right answer. We all try. We all learn here. And yeah. So if you have a notebook, just keep the challenge. Just highlight it just for later. So I've also recorded the short summary, like I said. Just like a quick short summary. Where did we just did that. Okay, bye now. Now we have a new one here. Last session's piece we looked at was Oliver Twist is a story of a young orphan, just like I said. Oliver and his attempts to stay good in society that refuses to help. Oliver is born in the workhouse. To a mother not known to anyone in the town. She dies right after giving birth to him, and he is sent to the prodigal orphanage, where he and the other orphans are treated terribly and fed very little. So if you don't know what they fed something called gruel, and I'll just try and find a picture of it. So just 1 second, just let me try and get a picture of it. Yeah, so here I've got a quick picture of it. Basically, here I've got, as you can see over here, it's like a gruel, like vomitish greenish color of this is just like used to be a little bit of milk, and they don't even give them that. It's just like a picture. I just searched up, and then here they give them a little. And I remember Mrs. Bumble she's very selfish and she likes money and she cares about herself only, and then she used to add water so it looks a lot, and then they were desperate to eat it. They couldn't do anything. So if we just go back and just read it. So okay, so where again he's sent to the workhouse, where again he and the others are treated badly and particularly starved. The other boys, unable to stand their hunger any longer, they decided to draw straws to choose who will have to go up and ask for more food. Oliver loses. On the appointed day, after finishing his first serving of gruel, he goes up and asks for more. Mr. Bumble, the beadle, and the board are afraid and decide they must get rid of Oliver, apprenticing him to the powerful undertaker, Mr. Sowerberry. It is not great there either, and after the attack on his mother's memory, Oliver runs away. So now we know that they were fed badly. They were fed something called gruel, which was added by water, which is Mrs. Bumble. Mr. Bumble, they decided to get rid of Oliver, and I remember when I read the book, they sold him for $5. So on the olden days, it's not a lot for a whole human to have, and they sold him to the Undertaker. It's like a local person who takes care of dead bodies. And then that's it. So now he runs away. Now the surprise is, where does he run away to? So if we take a quick look, where does Oliver Twist runs away to? So today we're looking at a different part of his story, which was this part. So Oliver has finally escaped the Undertaker's house. So if we look at the first one here, it says he was adopted by the Undertaker. So now when he's adopted by the Undertaker, he escaped them because he gets in a fight with them, and then he gets to eat leftovers, which is just gross. Oliver has finally escaped the Undertaker's house. He was confused as well as being worried of where to go or even who will he meet. He stopped for a short time. He thought of travelling to London, which was like miles away. He told himself he can make it all the way there for his own life of goods. He began his journey, walking for nearly a whole week. On halfway, he could see busy streets and dirty places, shouting and all busy shops and cars from a far distance. So now he escaped. Now he decided to go to London. London was like a very high population in the Victorian era, so it would have been really dirty near the River Thames, I think, or the River Severn, I think. And then all of the rivers would be dirty because it has a very high population. It has a lot of work that pay really good just for your life and stuff. Have children there like working for their parents because their medicine and stuff, because it was really bad how they treated them back then. So everyone would have gone to London by that time, but since his mum's dead and everyone's treating him badly, he was desperate to go by himself. And imagine you little boy, like probably a 10-year-old in a whole big city that was full of like a really high population in that time. It was very terrible. He told himself he can make it. So like a whole week, so this is how far it was, walking for a whole week, not even eating or staying hydrated. He could see busy streets and dirty places, shouting and all the busy shops and cars from far distance. So he could see them in a rough picture. So he begged for food, but no one seemed to care about the young small-sized boy that looks odd to the other people living in the city. Because remember, his clothes couldn't fit him, and then he was very small and stuff. And then no one really cared about him because he didn't really look like the rich. So the poor were treated very badly in the Victorian era, and they were separated. So an old woman had handed him one bread in his hand. He quickly ate it and asked for more. The woman seemed to get frustrated by the young boy Oliver. She ignored him. So she gave him bread at the first time, but when he asked for more, she's like, no, that's a waste of time and I'm wasting some of my money. So she started to ignore him by showing frustration to the young boy Oliver. So he continued his walk. He reached the unknown city that he had ever seen of his entire life. He reached the market, saw all the fresh fruits and vegetables that he would never had seen in the workhouse. So he went. He saw this big vegetables and fruits market. He just stared at it just like he's shocked, even though it's not something to be shocked about, but he's shocked because he had never eaten it. Watch out, boy, an old man shouted at Oliver. So he must be in a carriage because he shouted at him because he might have got hit or stuff. An old man shouted at Oliver. Oliver seemed unsure about staying or going back. So now this has made Oliver's decision very hard to decide to stay or back by the way people treated him since he just walked in. He walked through the muddy street. He got tired and sat at the doorstep. So he walked through the muddy street, and then he got tired and now he just decided to sit down. So he sat at the doorstep that looked so old. And I'm going to add into that. So it looked very, very old that it was like half trimmed. So it wasn't really the best place to stay in, but a really good place to get paid and stay there. Better than the places like in the workhouse. Looked so old. He stared around before noticing a boy staring at him on the doorstep, on the other doorstep in front of him. So he sat there, tired, pretty shocked about what he's seen. Also, hard decision to stay or leave London during the Victorian era. But while he's staring, he had a feeling that someone was looking at him, and it was this young boy about his size, also small size and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna go in details. He was wearing like a really big coat that didn't even fit him, and then he walked like all the airs and manners of a man. So what that means is like an old phrase that I got from the book, and what it means is that basically means when you're overconfident and you're acting like an old gentleman. So he stared. So basically that's showing how that boy, we don't know who that boy is, and I'm not going to spoil it for the next lesson. So now we have a couple of quizzes here. Normally each lesson, at the end of the lesson, I do a quiz just to reflect back. So where did Oliver travel to? Who gave Oliver the bread? Describe how Oliver had felt when he saw all the markets. So in full sentences in your notebook or in your head, and if you're not sure, just write in the comments below, and then I'll try my hardest to answer it. You have 3 minutes to get on with these, and then I'll just leave it, pause the video if there's not enough time, and then we'll see you on the answers. Okay, so now the answers are coming up. London. Where did he travel to? London. I'm so sorry I didn't write in full sentences, but he should say Oliver Twist had travelled to London. Who gave Oliver the bread? An old woman. So the Oliver Twist received the bread from the old woman or anything along the side. If you got these wrong, make sure you write the answers down. Describe how Oliver had felt when he saw all the markets. Okay, he felt excited and shocked because of all the markets and all the food he'd seen in his entire life. So this is like the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give a big thumbs up, like, share and subscribe, and put the notification bell on. If you have any concerns or anything, just remember to tell me, and then I'll try my hardest to tell you or explain to you much more detailed. And I hope to see you guys next time, and stay safe, keep learning.